The secret behind the sweet orange. A horrifying and wonderful journey inside a drop of orange juice. Unexpected microscopic observations. Part 1 Intro. Have you ever paused, just after peeling a sweet orange, and looked at its glistening flesh? You pull apart a clove and see tiny, tightly packed grains, golden yellow, transparent, and full of juice. We call them orange grains. Is the orange you're eating really healthy? Or could it be that with every bite you take, another life is entering your body? We're going to dissect the phenomenon of sweet orange grains in depth. Are you ready? Part 2. The mystery of the non-round shape. Why are sweet orange seeds flat and oval? Within the space between the orange clove and the white skin, it creates seeds called juice vesicles. These seeds grow from the inner wall of the fruit, pushed by other seeds next to them. Due to constant pressure from their neighbors, these cells are forced to grow lengthwise towards the center of the space. This combination of growth pressure and space pressure is what produces the flat and oval shape. Part 3. The hidden content in one grain. Nearly 87% of a single orange is pure water. Not just any water, but water structured with natural sugar molecules, minerals, and, of course, vitamin C. The remaining 13% is dissolved solids and fine fiber. So, when you finish an orange, you're actually drinking half a glass of water enriched with vitamins and antioxidants. Part 4. Cyan population census in orange. How many pith are there in a single sweet orange peel? The number of pith depends on the variety and size of the fruit. The more pith the orange has, the smaller the pith, and the fewer pith it contains. This is all about space efficiency again. Nature has adjusted the number of these water pockets to ensure a tight, compact structure without leaving any empty spaces. Part 5. Start pressing the microscope button. What is the function of the thin skin of an orange? Once you focus the microscope lens, you will see something similar to a giant water balloon with a very transparent membrane. This thin skin is called the epidermis. It looks like a clear, flexible plastic. Its function: osmotic protection. Imagine if there was no thin skin. The sugar water inside the pulp would immediately seep out, mix with air, and the orange would become soft and dry in just a matter of hours. This epidermis layer acts as the first line of defense. It maintains high fluid pressure inside, keeping the pulp firm, turgid. It also repels external bacteria and fungi that want to enter and damage the sugar inside. Part 6. The scary mystery of the rainbow colors. Now take a closer look. In some older orange samples, we'll notice unusual colors. We'll see reddish brown, dark yellow, and even dark green. Is this a sign that the orange is starting to rot? As soon as you see uneven reddish brown or dark yellow spots, this is an early sign of oxidation and cell damage. When cell membranes begin to leak or die, enzymes inside the cells react with oxygen in the air. This reaction produces a brown pigment, a sign that the cells are dying. So what about dark green? This is more serious. The green color in ripe orange pulp is usually not healthy chlorophyll, but could be a colony of microscopic fungi. There's a type of fungus called penicillium that, in its early stages, can produce a bluish-green or dark green pigment before eventually rotting the entire fruit. If you look at this under a microscope, the orange may still look good on the outside, but inside, a biochemical war is already underway. Part 7. Black omen and immobile creatures. Under the microscope, the black fibers are not natural orange fibers. They are fungal hyphae, but on a micro scale. They send out these threads, hyphae, to penetrate the cell walls of the orange pulp, steal nutrients, and digest the fruit flesh from within. Older, spore-producing hyphae are often dark or black. Then, the creature described as a small, irregularly rounded, motionless, dark green caterpillar. It is not a caterpillar. It is a fungal spore or conidia. It is the seed or egg of the fungus. Its shape is indeed irregular. Sometimes oval, sometimes round with odd protrusions. They are still because they are reproductive structures. Part 8. Chocolate rain in a sea of oranges. There's a lot of juice floating on top of the orange juice. It's dark brown in color. What does that mean? You're looking at a cellular debris storm. It's dark brown and there's a lot of it. It's dead cell debris. Remember what we talked about mold earlier? When mold breaks down the cell walls of the grains, it releases the cell contents. These dead, oxidized cell contents are what break down into tiny, dark brown flakes. Plus, there may be mold spores floating around in the liquid as well. Part 9. Nutrition Insights and Warnings from Nature. Having seen the horrors at the microscopic level, let's return to the real world, where oranges remain one of nature's best gifts for health. What are the nutritional contents of sweet oranges? And what are the effects if we overindulge? 100 grams of sweet oranges contain approximately 53 milligrams of vitamin C. This isn't just for preventing mouth ulcers. It helps produce collagen, preventing premature wrinkling, and acts as an antioxidant that wards off free radicals from pollution and cigarette smoke. Furthermore, oranges contain pectin fiber, which binds bad cholesterol and eliminates it through the feces. The potassium in oranges also helps maintain stable blood pressure. But don't overdo it. Eating 4 to 5 oranges at once every day, that's not healthy, but a disaster for your teeth and stomach. First, tooth erosion due to the strong citric acid in oranges. Second, digestive disorders. Third, the risk of kidney stones due to the oxalate content of oranges. And lastly, see you in next video.